Hi guys, welcome to my first video with Lotus Box. Today I'm going to be playing this Abzan deck. Been working on a bit. Kind of a brew, but I think it is pretty well positioned right now. So at the last open, the best performing deck by far was Mono Red, and close behind was Esper. This deck is kind of built to target those two, and that does come at the cost of some of the matchups in the middle and the Nexus matchup. But I think if you play against only those two decks, um, this deck will do great, and it still has game against the other archetypes. So I'm starting with the Explore Shell, and then filling it out with a removal suite, some Planeswalkers, and a couple pieces of interaction. It's not as interactive as Sultai decks in the past. A lot of your interaction comes in the form of creatures that we want to reuse with Sorin. So against control, for example, you can remove most of their threats with Plaguecraft or Sorin, because that gives you a total of 7 edicts just there, with another one coming from the Memorial and Find Finality. So you can really just attack. There are ways to gain card advantage and take over the game. In the sideboard, I have a lot of cards for the Nexus matchup because your main deck is very poorly suited. So in that matchup, pretty much the whole sideboard can come in besides the Thor Lieutenants and the Lily. And I think post-board that won't be that bad. A lot of these cards have dual functions and are good against mono red in the case of the Brontodon and the Knights, or good against control in the case of the Duress, Davriel removal. Davriel's overperformed so far. I think it's a strong tool for black mid-range decks, and I'm excited to keep trying it out in the future. So, alright, gonna jump into a match. Alright, so pretty clear mulligan, and we'll keep this one. Gonna bottom that. I think we need a threat. Alright, there's something to ramp into. So, Sacred Foundry, interesting. Means I'm probably against some sort of brew. Tide Taker. So, red-white, aggro. Alright, Massacre Girl will be a great draw. Still gonna just play both my creatures out, and can't play this Chapel, so. I should have played the Branchwalker first. Slightly incorrect sequencing. Even though I have this Massacre Girl, I'm still going to play out all my creatures. I'd rather ramp to Ugin and then use that to defend it, or use the Massacre Girl to get back my Ugin, I guess. Some sort of Mardu strategy. It's interesting. Alright, just going to slow play, let him commit a little more to the board before I spend my Massacre Girl. If he wants to just stalemate, I think that's better for me. Top end is probably stronger than his. Karn. Alright, so did get punished a bit for waiting. I'm not really sure what he's got going on. Oof, some heaters. Now, Phoenix is a huge problem for this deck. Massacre Girl does answer it, but we don't have really any other answer in the main deck. So, I think I'm going to try and get... This is really awkward, because I need to pressure the Karn, but I also probably can't beat the Phoenix. Tough spot. I guess I could just hope I draw a second Massacre Girl. Yeah, I don't really think waiting is good for me anymore. No real benefit to attacking first. Massacre Girl is really good against Afterlife cards and Rekindling Phoenix because of the way the ability stacks. So I do think it's pretty powerful in that regard, and I'm main decking it mostly out of respect for the mid-range decks. Having a board clear on a stick and a deck with a lot of recursion is pretty powerful in those matchups. This deck definitely falls outside of the range of decks we were gunning for. Some Mardu mid-range, some hard to answer permanents. Alright, can have a land. And I feel very behind. Not really sure how to get out of this one. The Sorin doesn't do a lot right now. I'm just gonna play the Branch Walker. Been that. Hopefully I can trade off the Massacre Girl and then bring it back to Sorin. Okay. He's also a Sorin deck. That bringing back Kitesail is a real problem right now. This guy's deck is interesting. I'd be willing to try it out. I feel like losing the Explorer package does make you a lot worse against mono red, but cards like Sorin are really good there. The weird main phase cast down. Okay. So no attacks. That's good news for us. Huh. Yeah, I'm just gonna trade for Freebooter. Interesting. In that case, I'm gonna do this to hit my land drop. That's gonna die. Interesting plus. Like he could have there just sent everything at the Sorin, sent the Sorin at me, these two at my Planeswalker, and then plus his Sorin to kill my Planeswalker. So he missed out on some damage there. But I don't think it'll matter. So I'm going to take out his Sorin, and then I could plus my Sorin. Some rough position for sure. Could plus my Sorin or bring back a Branch Walker. I think I'll say the Branch Walker is more valuable. See, that would dig me one more step toward my next Massacre Girl, which is probably one of the few ways I have to get back in this game. Alright, the Devil. And this whole plussing instead of making a dragon thing is a little odd. Oh, Dire Fleet. That's a 2-1. Powerful. It's a little weird. I have a Find Finality and a Memorial in my deck, so I think it's probably advantageous for me to just trade this Massacre Girl off. And I don't want to play my Jade Light first, because if I show one of those cards on top, he won't trade it off. So, gotta bait him a little bit. So, and that actually worked. I wanted to keep this around to trigger Massacre Girl. Yeah, this plussing thing makes sense now because he knows it's getting sweep now. Oh god. Well, that's curtains for me, folks. Yep, we can't beat that. It's gonna draw him 3 cards. So got a little bit wrecked in the yeah, well, good game. Got a little wrecked in that match, but I think we got some good options post board. D-Spark is great. Another Assassin's Trophy is pretty valuable. I think we might want some number of Duresses or Davriels on the play. Wild Growth Walker seems unnecessary. Probably want to keep our acceleration, and Plague Crafter seems mediocre to unplayable. Probably just unplayable. We could probably trim a Sorin since we're losing some of our good reanimation targets. And then I like the Massacre Girl and all the Planeswalkers, so I think we'll stick at this. Rely on our acceleration to bring us into our endgame quickly. Now post board, if I see that he's cut his Tide Takers, I should have cut the Bront, if that was in the main deck, to be honest. Yeah, but if we see he's cutting down on the Tide Takers and their Cursive Creatures, we can bring back in the Plague Crafter. But really matches up poorly against Tide Taker, so alright, still in the deck. Plague Crafter staying out. And gonna bash, Jade Light, and pass the turn. And that's fine. I don't really bin Jade Lights unless I have a good reason to. Alright, Gideon. Interesting. I don't like Gideon as much on the draw. I think it won't be great here, but it's a strong card. So he's giving it Vigilance. Interesting. I think we just want to make this trade because we're sending both at Gideon next turn anyways. Might as well prevent 2 damage. Sure. Seems good enough. Alright, this game I feel pretty good about our spot. As long as we don't see something like Rekindling Phoenix, looking good. Alright, so that's it for Gideon. I'm gonna just play the Ugin pre-combat, so he doesn't decide to like kill my elf in combat for some reason. I don't really know why he would. And send everything at the Gideon, so I'd rather plus my Ugin. Alright, so taking it to a game 3. So Davriel seems pretty bad on the draw, and we don't want the Brontodon at all. So I think I'll board in another Duress and 2 Walkers. Walker's not great, but on the draw it could be useful. Gonna bottom that one. Play this just in case I draw a 3-drop. Tide Taker in the house. It's fine for me. I've been that. Okay. Now, Uthilkai is a deck I could put in this deck. Or a card I could put in this deck even. Kind of interesting. I'm just going to bring back my Branch Walker. Get a little more filtering going. Sure. Yeah, Uthilkai works pretty well with all these Planeswalkers. Definitely see it being a good tool. This will give him a flyer to pressure my Sorin, but luckily Sorin's a +2. And if he plays his own Sorin, no. Okay, good on the opponent, making the trade he wanted to first. I'm gonna just play this Jade Light. That's good enough. I should have offered that trade, I think. Yeah, so I made a mistake by not offering the trade last turn. Puts me in a really rough spot. He probably would have just taken one, given that he was playing this, but if he did decide to make the trade because it's an elf, he would have had to trade off his dragon and then not have something to pressure my Sorin. But I did not do that, so instead, everything is going poorly. So I could bring back the Branch Walker. I think I have to. Alright. Not great for me, but let's see. If we could draw a non-land, that would have been nice. Alright, I'm going to send everything at the Sarkhan and hope for just send this at the Sarkhan. Sarkhan has his passive. Does 1 damage to each attacking creature. Alright, Mortify. Yeah, we're pretty behind. Interesting, he's not attacking with that. You might not know Sarkhan has a passive, but facing lethal. Well, didn't play that game as well as I could, but hopefully there's some lessons to be taken there. Yeah, that was an interesting deck. I think it's one that we're less prepared for than the meta. So, see if we can play against a more popular matchup. Alright, this looks like a pretty clear mulligan. And we'll keep this one even if it's not great. A couple explore creatures would go a long way. Alright, mono white. Well, if we can survive to Massacre Girl, we got this game in the bag. I'll say that. If not, might be a rough time. Wall Growth was a great draw. Will go a long way. Okay, the quad one drops. Got 2 pair going. Do I have the Loxodon to follow it up? No. Alright, like to see that. Oh, got a strange game going on. It's a little rough because they're clearly stuck on lands with a bunch of powerful 3-drops. I gotta hope one isn't a Benelish Marshal, because that'll get rough for me, but I don't think I can afford to not play this Wall Growth. Sure. If they want to throw away 2 guys for the land, that's fine. Just gonna block the Sky Marchers. Awkward. Alright, we just really need some land drops. Or a Jade Light, really. Don't attack. Oh my god. Poor guy. This was really telegraphed. So, kind of surprised he did this. Alright, so that bought us a lot of time. Paradise Druid's a good draw. Gonna keep sitting back. Haunted Witness, okay. And History. So I could just get the Sorin down, or I could play... I'm just going to be mana efficient. Once I have Sorin down and then play Massacre Girl, should kind of wrap things up. Oh god, Heroic Reinforcements. Alright, that's not good. Didn't expect that one. So, what to do? Facing down an attack of 7, 11, 17. I'm at 14. So I am just going to... If I'm relying on playing Massacre Girl anyways to win, I could just double chump, save the most damage. Or I could go to 1, keep these around, and then if I draw a Jade Light, I gain 12. I think that gives me more outs because I don't really think there's a difference between being at 1 and being at 0. Or being at 3. So we're going to do that. Branch Walker, interesting. So I'm definitely playing the Branch Walker, and binning that. Then if I play this, I'm at 7, facing down. Pump, pump. Yeah, I survive. Okay. No point bringing back the Playcrafter, so I'm not going to bother. Alright, we're going to get a really good Massacre Girl this game, I think. Alright, I'm just going to double block. I'll lose a Wild Growth and take 3. Keep my Dorks alive. And we're looking pretty alright. Okay, so I'll attack with Wild Growth, play Massacre Girl post-combat, then probably bring back a Wild Growth. Alright, got a lot of triggers. Goodbye, Wild Growth. Massacre Girl looked pretty impressive there. I think we're basically locked to win this one. Can't really think what he could have that could pull him out of this. Like even something like a Johnny or one of his best late game threats probably isn't going to beat the Sorin and Vivian going long. So looking good. And I'm just going to bring back that. I'm going to save the find for a rainy day. I guess heroic reinforcements would be good here. Still probably not good enough, but maybe. Okay, looks like a Lockstone. Or a Tribunal. Okay, Lockstone it is. We'll hit land drops eventually. It'll happen. There we go. Play Vivian. Now we're just going to try and find as many Explorer creatures as possible. Sorin did a lot of work that game. It was a very extended 4-for-1. Gained us some life. So this matchup, I want the bronze and the trophy and the lily. I think the big planeswalkers are good. It often ends up in board stalls, and we need a way to win those. Don't really like any of these other cards. And we want all the Explorer. Can probably cut all the Plague Crafters. Those do nothing. Bronze are pretty good. Little Raska's pretty good. I think we could cut down on a Vivian, maybe 2 Vivians. Yeah, I'll just cut down on 2 Vivians. We have a lot of answers to their enchants between Knight and Bront. Just want to be lean. And this other 6 mana planeswalkers directly impact the board more than Vivian does for the most part. Alright, this seems good enough, if barely. Got a finality. Card's been impressive. Alright, so I play this, I take 4. Following turn I'll play Jadelight, probably. Okay, take a little more than 4. Take 6. It's not looking great. Bograph Walker off the top. Come on. Not this time. Alright. Still gonna just play Jadelight. It's interesting. I could double top that, and then I have 2 plays next turn. It sets me up for finality on 6. I kind of want to do that, actually. So it also makes my Jadelight a 4/3, which I really did want. Prevents the Rune Launch from getting in there. Alright. So playing out these guys, and hopefully he commits more into a potential finality. If not, I might just play Soren. Okay, Conclave. That's great news for me. This is going to work out real nicely. I'll use this elf to chump, just prevent some damage, and finality. Just attacking with that? Okay, that's fine too. He has 3 cards in reserve, but think are between Knight and Soren. We have a good shot. Another Adanto is problematic though. So I'm going to try and trade off. Hopefully I can draw a 6-drop or a Massacre Girl, something to really put this game away. Alright, Baffling End. Hitting the Jade Light would be a big mistake. Yep. He fell for it, so that means I get to bring back the Knight. Oh. Okay. All the enchants. Interesting. Well, I have a forced play here. I could get the Paradise Druid, but, you know, high roll. If he has another removal, whatever. Yeah, that's a good one. We'll keep that. You could have gotten a free point in. Huh. Gotta send those in every time. Sky Marcher's a pain. So I could blow that up, bring back Knight of Autumn, kill his Legion's Landing to prevent that from flipping. An option. See what happens in combat. Blow that up, chomp, go to 1, bring back the Knight of Autumn, and the Bront, go to 5. Yeah, I think the way my board is set up, I really don't want, well, not really having a board. I don't want him to flip that. It's just too much pressure, too hard to deal with. So yep, and don't think it matters which one I get back. Now I'm getting both of them back eventually. So doing this. Well, I suppose I could plus it. That doesn't really accomplish much though. Yeah, we'll let him kill it. Bring back this, stop things on the ground. I have a lot of turns to draw some way to answer that Sky Marcher. Okay, Ugin or Lily, removal spell, Massacre Girl. A lot of good draws here. A lot of good draws for him too, though. That's one of them. Alright. So, if he wants to trade this for 4 life, I guess that's fine. Kind of a win-win. Yep. Deal. We're actually putting a little pressure on his life total now. So I could attack him. Is attacking him good? Attacking him lets him trade with the wild growth, and then I take 3. He'd go to 2. Yeah, I think an attack is just a strong play here. Also, he might chomp out of respect for another Sorin, so we'll see. Yeah, did chomp. Alright, that's the best option for me. Nope. Reconsidered. Okay. Alright, this game is edge of your seat. Oof. Alright, that was the nightmare draw. So if he attacks all, and we draw our instant speed removal spell, we got him. Nope. Interesting. I'm surprised he didn't, but that was a great draw, so. Nice. Massacre Girl cleaning up. It's a fun card. Alright, so 1-1, 3 matches to go. Deck looked alright there. I think Mono White's got to be a pretty good matchup. We drew more than twice as many lands as him and still managed to walk away with the win. Alright, it's a mulligan. Sounds good. Not having double green, a little awkward, but it's good enough. Yeah, I'll keep the Golgari Queen. It's a turn 4 play if we don't draw double green. Okay. Might be against an Esper strategy. Yep. Like to see that. This will be some good testing. And I'm going to top the Jade Light. Explore creature beatdowns. Surprisingly effective against Esper. It's a Fairy Time Raveler. Okay. Use this opportunity to resolve the Vraska. And I can minus to get 4 damage in, which I think is the move. I'll just save the minus. Yeah, let's just go grindy. I pitch a land. I like having this out to threaten future search for Escantos or Narsets or whatever. Or have the -3 available. Another Teferi, that's fine. So this one we will Vraska minus on. And I'm just going to play out 2/2 drops. So if he has big Teferi here and a removal spell, it's a little awkward, but most other sequences of cards are looking fine against. He hovered over Vraska. Maybe Vraska's Contempt. It's a flavor combo, I guess, or non-bow. Vraska's Contempting the Vraska. Nope, Kai's Wrath. Okay. Totally fine. Yeah, that was a good draw. Just gonna double spell, sack a land, draw a card. Party going. Yeah, it's a good one. I will take it. In the tank. Yeah, Teferi is a good one. Interesting. So if he has a cast down, obviously that's rough for me. I definitely want to use this opportunity to resolve Sorin. So I think the best course of action is to send both at Teferi and then post-combat resolve the Sorin if he removes something. Because I don't want to slam this pre and his only spell was negate anyways. Because if he just lets the Teferi die, then I'm just not going to play the Sorin. Oh, alright. So that was a mistake. Now I get to play Sorin and pick that off. I assumed he was going to go for the Jade Light, but it's perfect. Don't Elder Spell me, please. Okay, Big Lily is a problem. That is a big annoyance. This deck really struggles to beat Big Lily, so let's see how it goes. I could go wide, I could minus on this attack. I think I want to start by playing Jade Light, because if Jade Light hits a Plague Crafter, then I can heal his Lily this turn. So I'm going to bin that. Plague Crafter. Damn it. Alright, binning that too. Then, yeah, I'm just going to minus on that, attack Lily, bring back another Jade Light. God, this is like a infinite for one. Guard is tough to beat. Postboard, we get a lot of cleaner answers to it, at least. Now, if he has a sweeper, we're in some serious trouble. Alright, he still left up the mana for Kaiser's, so the suspense continues. A Plague Crafter off the top, though, would go a long way. Dove in Hand of Control. Wow. Not one you see every day. This is good news. We get to minus on that. He draws, but we kill both his walkers. Yeah. Like to see this. Hopefully he doesn't have another Lily, but everything else is pretty beatable. The question is whether we should commit another creature to the board. And I think given that I have 2 walkers, I'm just going to play another one. Get the filtering in now, and it's better if he has another Lily if I can just pick it off right away. I'll keep the extra Sorin in the bag. He did have another Lily. Wow. This guy is really ready for these mid-range grind fests. Alright, so I'm going to float. I don't want to sack that one. I'm going to float a green, draw a card. Alright, that's a good draw. One -3. Jade Light back. Spinning that one. So now that I have an answer for another Planeswalker in hand, I'm not going to commit more to the board. Sending one face, one at him. And land for turn. Alright. Been a strange game. Usually you don't see 2 Lilies out of this deck, but honestly, we're still in an okay spot, so sure. Wow. Minuses, huh? Yeah, that's fine. I'm just gonna pick off his Planeswalkers for free then. Hey, recording a video. Okay. Alright, so here I think we're just gonna commit back to the board a little bit. I'm gonna start by playing or floating mana and drawing a card. So I know my options. Then I'll play 2 explore creatures. Should be enough pressure. I'm actually gonna bin that. Just want to hit some land drops. And Cry could be a card he actually has right now, so I'm just going to hold this last elf. Maybe I should have kept that Jade Light at 4-3. Wow, another Lily. Main decking 3 of these? Pretty wild. Alright, I'm going to send this up to Lily. He's had enough. Mask Girl comes out, bringing in all their dresses, the Dagriels, D-Sparks, Assassin's Trophies, and I usually put in one Knight of Autumn in matchups like this, but Thorn Lieutenants as well. Cutting all the Wild Growth Walkers, the Elves, and the Brontodon. We want all the Sorens, and usually I cut the Lily. It's not very good against these type of decks. And yeah, we will bring in the one Knight of Autumn. Alright, and I like this config. I'm gonna double check. But yeah, looks solid. Maybe he doesn't have Search or something and the Knight of Autumn is bad, but being able to play it as a 4-3 is also pretty valuable. And this hand's great. So definitely keeping it. A lot of answers to his threats and some pressure. And I guess he just doesn't want to play the match, so that's unfortunate. I like playing these matchups, but I'll take the win, I guess. Alright, so 2-1 is this little testing session. And against the rank 143 guy, so be interesting to see what he's playing. Alright, it's pretty clear mulligan, and this is a fine keep. Not great, but a lot of draws can bridge the gap here. Alright, so this might be Bant Midrange or it might be Nexus. Probably Bant Midrange. It's been really popular on ladder lately. Ooh. Yep. Alright, it is Bant Midrange. Interesting. I think I'm just going to hold the trophy and pressures Vivian this way. I don't really want to ramp him up to 5. This hand really needs some top end though. It's going to be hard. Alright. Pretty clear Frilled Mystic if he's just holding up his mana, yeah. And we will trophy that in combat. Trophying your Frilled Mystic is weird, but let's get the Vivian off the board. Alright, so hopefully... did I need to put a stop? Alright, that's tragic. Hate to see it happen. He's gonna remove this before it blocks, but I guess we'll just be doing this. And yeah, awkward, but it happens. Arena is a great program. Yeah. In the future, I should have clicked stop at combat and then put a stop in my declare attacker step. So otherwise it won't give you priority. Similar to like if they cast a Rabble Master. But it's an interaction that hadn't come up for me much yet. Alright, we are quite dead, but I'll keep going. Yep. Interesting that he plussed. Guess he's already got the Frilled Mystic lined up. Alright, well, we're dead. Alright, so in these matchups, I like boarding in Lily. Daffodil is okay on the play. Definitely not an option on the draw, but I think I'll probably just leave it on the sidelines. I've got a Wild Growth. I think some pretty minimal sideboarding is fine. Board in another trophy. Yeah, this feels fine. Kind of relying on Massacre Girl and Planeswalkers to win the late game. This matchup can be pretty tough, but I think it's alright. Hydra Crisis in general is kind of a beating. I wonder if he's blue-green or Bant. We didn't see any white lands, but could have been mana screwed. Sounds good enough. God, that's a lot of ramp. Alright, I'm just going to get down to Jade Light, try and pressure a potential Planeswalker or something. And yeah, we do want that. Next turn I'll play Elf and Jade Light, try and hit another land drop. Get to Ugin or Lily. ASAP. Ooh. Okay, so he's just a blue-green ramp deck. Interesting. So I kind of misjudged what I was up against. I would have boarded in the D-Sparks and whatnot. Not mana screwed Bant. It's kind of cool that he's blending in the Nissa shell with this archetype. Might just be the best way to do it. Next turn I can Finality for removing everything he has, so probably do that. Hopefully he just plays another ground creature. Vivian Reed. Okay. What does this card do? Wow. Okay. Let's win more card, but it's gonna be big here. It's gonna be a 17-17. So pretty large. Gosh. I don't really know how I can get out of this one. Alright, so I could Finality, then draw land. Finality and I die. Okay, can't Finality. I could Ugin minus. This doesn't have trample, does it? Oh, it does have trample. Damn. I could Ugin minus on the Hydra. My Ugin dies and I'm toast. Yeah, I don't really think there's a way out of this. Oh, it's a sweet deck, and he's doing well with it, so maybe there's something worth exploring there. Alright, so 2 and 2 on the day. We'll have one match to see if we can finish with a winning record. Sha sha sha. Okay, this hand's pretty good. Nice little mix of spells. Got an elf. What more can you really want? I'm going to start with this in case. Esper control or midrange control. Gotcha. Sand is nice against Esper. Play the Paradise Druid. Him having search for his Kanta, bad news for us though. I have 3 answers to it in the main deck, plus the 3 Vivians, but 3 cheap answers. Pretty telegraphed Absorb. I'm just going to play Wild Growth Walker, save the Sorin to reload after a Wrath. Sure. Drawing a land would be pretty good here, especially if he plays a Teferi. I might make a pretty unconventional play if I draw a land and he plays a Teferi and just play the Ugin and minus on search for his Kanta. I feel like as long as I remove that, I'm favored going along. Thought erasure. Alright, so Ugin's probably hitting the bin. I might just play Crafter to upgrade my clock and make him discard, but it flips the search faster, so kind of awkward in some regards. I think just sitting is probably the best bet. No reason to plus first. And I don't want to play a spell and let him flip it, so just wait one turn. Alright, there's a boy, Teferi. And he's minusing on Sorin. Alright, that's a reasonable play. So I'm just going to kill the Teferi, play Massacre Girl, and I have a 4/4 now, I guess. Here we go. Yeah, them drawing Search for Kanta is a huge deal in this matchup, I've found. Definitely the best card from their side. Alright, I'm gonna play the elf, speed up the clock a little bit. I mean, it doesn't change the clock, but if he has removal, we'll at least have something. So Assassin's Trophy off the top would put me back in this game. That's about it, though. Otherwise, we're kind of going to get buried by that search. Sure. I don't know why he wants to main phase it, but can. Alright, that was a good draw. This is the most telegraphed absorb in the world, though, so I'm going to try and bait it with this. Alright, thought erasure. I still think I could win if I draw a trophy this turn, but that's about it, really. Otherwise, I'm going to get buried. I'm going to recast a Paradise Druid. Try to do something this turn. Target player sacks a creature, and then if they have a Lily, we also discard. That's cool. Haven't seen that card much in Standard, but it's probably playable. Intercept part of Hills. Okay. Cast down. So they have the cast down, they have the edict. Yeah, we're toast. Get both creatures dying. Alright. Post board. Gets better for us. Cutting all the dorks. And cutting the Bront and the Massacre Girls. And now we have way more answers for search, and they're planeswalkers. So alright, I'm gonna quickly grab a drink of water while he's finishing up. Alright, still thinking about it. Makes sense, really. Not a conventional deck we're playing, and he probably wants to decide like how heavy on the creature plan he wants to go, stuff like that. Alright, sounds pretty good. Just gonna lead with turn 1 duress. And I'm gonna take the Ugin since we have the knight. Perfect. Now it won't look fishy and play a search for Escanto. We got a nice. They need a thanks, because I would thank him for saying nice. Alright, dress hitting the bin. Makes sense. It was good that we got that under. And just start pressuring, and we have the Jade Light to reload. Yeah, that's good enough. Sack that overgrown tomb. Big Teferi is a problem, but everything else is fine. And I'll probably just play the second Jade Light and make him have a second Kai's Wrath. He might just tuck. I'm not really sure. I kind of like Blessing personally, but sure. So I'm just going to despark. And I'll plus this Raska but not sack anything. And I have an answer for another Teferi lined up. That's pretty good. I guess we'll make an emblem. Alright. Better not let me play another creature. I'm just going to keep my land for now. Next turn I'll decide if I want to sack. Narset better find a removal spell. Did not. Alright. So on to game 3. Keep this configuration. I think we're pretty well set up to deal with everything. Kind of weird, but we're kind of out controlling the control deck in some regards. Put on pressure, but also answer everything. Alright, I think this hand is just good enough to keep. Having tap lands is awkward, but we have pressure, we have a Sorin. It's not horrible. It's a good draw. Really need the land, but make do. Now just take the Narset. You thinking about just Kai's Wrathing? That'd be pretty loose, I think. So I am just going to play Crafter. I'm going to get a creature in my graveyard. So if he taps out for Teferi, I can just soar on him. So he has a tough decision as to what to discard. I feel like it'll probably be a Kai's Wrath, but I'm not sure. Wonder what the mystery card is. He's mousing over it. Maybe it's a land. Kind of like discarding a land. You're not under pressure. Sure. Hitting Soren is unfortunate. Alright, that's a good one. I think I'll just make him answer this. Not let myself get 2 for 1 or whatever. My question is, do I save this for a Lily? I think I do. Or mana efficiency. Yeah, mana efficiency is probably just the best thing to do. Because I do want to be able to get this down. So he did draw a counter, no? Alright, interesting. I think I'm gonna just accept the Ugin's a long way off and actually pitch a land. He's probably gonna contempt it. Nice. That's the card I wasn't going to cast forever anyways, so I'd like to see that. I'm going to keep being patient. That is one of the cards that punishes me most for patience. Yeah, this deck really has trouble beating those 6 mana planeswalkers, so might lose to that. Gosh. What's the line of attack? I guess I just attack his Ugin and hope that he blocks for some reason. Damn. Uggin's a beast. Yeah, I don't really see a way for us to beat that going long. We have one more turn. I'm going to give us to draw now. We got the 2D Sparks, another Assassin's Trophy. And I'm really wishing I saved that trophy. Could have been a mistake. Okay, he just kept that around. That's smart of him. I think I'm just going to hold that. Alright. That's enough. Well, not the best run with the deck, but, you know, not bad. Trying something different. I think in the last game, there's potentially a lesson to be learned where I overvalued mana efficiency relative to making sure that my answers lined up, which is pretty important in that matchup when you're taking that route. Like if I'm slow playing, I don't need to be mana efficient anyways. I just want to trade. I don't know ultimately whether it would have mattered, but definitely something to think about. So yeah, thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, like and subscribe. Lotus Box YouTube channel. And yeah, that's all for today.
Lotus Box, now powered by Cardboard Live, is proud to introduce you to all of its sponsors: Introspectv, Red Handed Art, and MTGO Traders. Use the code LotusBoxPayPal to get 8% off singles for orders over $5, and links to all of these sponsors are in the description box down below.